Hey everybody, welcome back to Big Hair Gaming. We're here with another video. We're playing Last War. Today I wanted to go over some of the meta that I think about in terms of what stuff is worth buying at what prices and where, in what shops, and so forth, and all that kinds of stuff. So I wanted to kind of jump through, go over some of the shops, some of the stuff that you have available in various parts of the game, and just kind of give my own opinions on what I think is worth investing in, and when to skip it and kind of wait for other opportunities to show up. So we'll start with jumping over into the store. And I'm actually going to start right over in the... I'm going to skip the regular diamond store simply because... this shop, I don't think anything is worth buying here because VIP is available for everybody to get. All it costs is 10,000 coins, or sorry, 10,000 diamonds, gems. I call them gems because they look more gem-like than diamond-like. But all it costs is 10,000 gems. With the various events and drops where you can get 10k gems or 10k diamonds or whatever, I think that getting VIP regularly is probably reasonably feasible, such that you probably shouldn't be buying anything in the diamond store, because buying stuff here, if you're straight up free to play, just makes it harder for you to get to the VIP store where a lot of the stuff is going to be cheaper. And you basically the way that I look at it is this simple stuff like iron and food and coins and whatever is, easily obtainable enough that like you shouldn't be spending your hard-earned gems on it. And like legendary tickets and survival tickets, we have other ways to get those, as well as all the other stuff as well. So looking at the VIP store, the stuff that I usually get right off the rip, I like to grab the universal decor components. These, if you're not familiar, you use them to upgrade your most of your gold level decorations around your base. I'm gonna grab these. These are 5,000 diamonds, which is quite a bit, but I do have a lot in reserve, so I'm not super worried about it. Also, I'm making a video, so I feel like I should. Next, totally easy choice. Like, I buy this every week. It's gonna be the 50 stamina. That's 5 of them. It's only 300 gems. Easy pick for that. As needed, I'll pick up the advanced teleporters. This is pretty much like the cheapest that you can get teleporters, and I recommend that you buy them here rather than in the Alliance store, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Drone parts, 50 of them for 400 a pop. That's going to be 20k. I don't usually buy the drone parts for gems unless it's like drone upgrade day, and I'm like just a few away from being able to push my drone into like the next threshold. So if I'm like right on the edge, then I'll drop a couple just to get the drone parts I need, but I don't usually get these. Similarly, skill medals, I don't often buy these as well. I think it's going to be 8k. Yeah, 8k to get all of them. If I really needed them, I would grab them, but I think through opening boxes and just kind of regular play, you get like enough skill medals that you're not like, unless you're like, I want to do this upgrade today, right now. Otherwise I'd pass them up. Rare hero shards, not even worth your time. Don't even bother. Hero EXP, sometimes I'll grab the hero EXP if I'm feeling like I'm really popping off in terms of how many gems I have. Speed ups, not necessarily. I won't do that. Upgrade ore, probably not. The rare skill chip chests, I don't buy these in the VIP store, and I'll talk about why. Because they're available in other stores that have a much more attainable currency. So buying them in this store, unless you just like want all of the skill chips that you can get whenever you can get them, like if that's your priority, you can do that. But otherwise, I think that there's other opportunities to get rare skill chip chests before you start paying 800 gems a pop for it. Now, something that I will sometimes invest in are the hero EXP chests, the highest level ones. This is like a pretty big investment, but also like the cost of upgrading your heroes does continue to go up and to go up as that level cap increases. So having a couple of orange chests to hang on to until you get later is valuable, because these are the amount that you get from them is a derivative of whatever your HQ level is. So the higher it is, the more that you get, which also means the longer you hang on to it, the more valuable it becomes. And you'll kind of see that trend a little bit later in some other content as well. Legendary hero shards, usually I'll pick these up because it's like 3K for 10, which isn't too bad. It's a pretty solid exchange. Sometimes if I need some extra 8-hour speed ups, I'll grab them here. And I early on, when I was just trying to get gold level weapons, I would buy the dielectric ceramic from the shop. Later on, when you have like tons of materials to break down, you're generating a lot of bolts that you can convert into dielectric ceramic through that means. I don't tend to find myself buying as much dielectric ceramic in the later game. Currently I'm level 29. In the off season between seasons 1 and 2, I don't buy that many. But if you really need it and you want it, like, it's not terribly expensive, so I wouldn't fault you too much for doing it. It's only like 3K, which isn't bonkers. It is bonkers if you don't have VIP. Again, prioritize VIP, because that gives you access to a lot of this stuff and other cool stuff too. But that's just some of the stuff that I think about. And epic hero shards, don't even bother thinking about them. By this point, if you have VIP, then you're probably super concerned with just getting gold shards, and that's kind of your main priority. So, moving into the Alliance store, basically everything here is kind of worth your time. You can see I kind of saved up a bunch of points. Maybe I had a plan because I was going to do a video. But yeah, so like the legendary hero shards, there's 5 here. Like, definitely grab that. I always grab my violet shards. I always grab my mason shards. Mason, if you watch my other video, he does get an upgrade to become a gold level hero in season 1, and he does still use his purple level shards, so you do want to pick those up as you're going through. Now, the level 1 drone component chests, sometimes I'll grab these depending on how many points I have. Right now I have a lot. Sometimes I'll grab them, sometimes I won't, but I will usually grab, like I mentioned before, the rare skill chip chests. That's only 20k points, and it's a better cost value than the VIP store, where here you're paying 800 a pop, but you have access to 10. In the Alliance store, we have access to 5, but it's a lot cheaper. I feel like it's a lot easier to get these Alliance contribution points than it is to get gems. So that's my rationale behind that. Now, the advanced teleporter, you can get one here. I'll usually buy this one first, and then based on how combat day goes, if I need more, then I'll come and I'll pay the 600 for it. Or if it's a Sunday and I've got, you know, gems lying around, if I'm willing to bet that I might need to jump around a little bit more, or I just want that versatility of having a few more in my back pocket come battle day, then I might grab them just before the day, just before the store refreshes and the limit goes back up to 3. So it depends on how many extra coins I have to determine how many I buy. But I'll usually try to buy it from the Alliance store first, and then if I need extra, I'll go to the VIP store. Dielectric ceramic, I'll usually grab this. It's only 20. But like, it's kind of like a low priority thing. So if I really want it and I need it, like I said, at this point in the game, for me, I don't often tend to find myself buying it because I'm tending to generate it quite a bit more frequently. Same thing with synthetic resin and the super alloy. Not as critical for me. And like, if you'll note, you do need I'll say they do build up in a 4-to-1 ratio, so the prices do reflect that. So you're not necessarily coming out on top by thinking that you'll buy the 100 super alloy and then turn into dielectric ceramic on the cheap. You do have access to more of it, which is beneficial, but cost-wise, it does shake out to be the same. Now, survivor tokens. These I often do buy because they're really cheap and you get a bunch of them. And as you start upgrading your survivors, the cost, like you do need a lot of tokens to just push them to the next star level. And just so I don't run out, like upgrading, like a 2-star survivor or a 3-star survivor or something. I try to buy them every week just to make sure that I keep building them and building them. Even if I'm not spending my survivor tickets every week, I want to make sure that I do have those tokens available. And then when it comes to the speed ups down at the bottom, you do come out on top buying the 8-hour variants over the 1-hour variant. So if you wanted to buy 8 1-hour construction speed ups, you do pay more for that instead of as opposed to buying the 8-hour one. For these, a couple that I tend to buy right off the rip, I almost always grab the research ones. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I'm pushing towards T10s, and we just always need those 8-hour speed ups for that. I'll usually grab like the healing ones and the construction ones, depending on how many alliance points I have per week. Right now I'm in a surplus because I was kind of sitting on my hands to do this video, but usually I tend to run out, and so because of that, I'll kind of do a little bit of prioritization around that and try to figure out like, okay, what do I actually need to spend points on. Last one is the epic resource chest. I almost always neglect this just because it's 12,000 points for one chest, which for me is just like crazy. Like if you're getting that in the store, like you basically have bought everything else probably. And you know, you just have surplus alliance points. When it comes to shields, I feel like shields are rather straightforward. Like I buy them when I need them. I try to keep one in my back pocket of each type, or at least of a few types if I need it. But usually, like, I don't buy it until I'm like, okay, I know I'm not going to be able to play that much this battle day just because I got to do stuff. So then I'll buy like the 24-hour shield, and I'll make sure I leave some money laying around for it, or some points laying around for it to make sure that I can buy what I need. I try not to hold on to too many shields just because you only really need them on battle day, or maybe you need it more frequently depending upon how tumultuous your server is. But that's just how I think about it. I don't buy them until I need them. So moving along, the honor store. So early on, the honor store around, but when you're in pre-season one, the honor store is one of your best ways of getting the decoration chest. In the preseason, every day there's, or not every day, but sorry, every week there's that honor challenge for the capital where you can send your guys out into the mud and basically attack each other to get honor points. That's one of the best times to get these decoration chests for that. That's one of the things that I like to spend it on. And I tend to spend them on that and grab like one decoration chest every month or whatever, just to kind of start to build those stacks up. And then you can use your universal decor components to upgrade them, simply because like getting duplicates of statues, of the gold statues, is kind of hard unless you're like really paying to win and you're buying the really fancy stuff. It can be difficult. Additionally, so let's talk about the legendary skill chip chest. I don't tend to find myself buying this as much. This comes about a little bit later. I'm not sure, because the feature wasn't complete when I was in the preseason. I'm not sure if the legendary skill chip chest comes out alongside the decoration chests, or if it is in fact delayed until later and then it shows up in the store later, because I was just further along when that came out. So you can kind of decide whether, like, what's more important for you. You do get some legendary skill chip generating components by playing your VS War, so you will be able to make them. So it really depends on what you want to spend your points on. I don't tend to find myself spending honor points on the legendary hero shards, just because there's so many ways to get hero shards, and there's not a lot of ways to get some of the stuff that's in this store. Drone parts, I don't tend to spend them on that. Similarly, in the VIP store, you can get a bunch just for gems, and there's stuff that you can buy with gems, like drone parts, and there's other stuff like you can't get like legendary blueprints super duper easily, that kind of stuff. Like, do not spend honor store points on recruitment tickets. Don't buy dielectric ceramic. probably just, and don't buy universal hero shards. Like, those are just stuff that's just not worth your time. I'll also say don't buy drone parts in this store, because there's, like, this currency is a lot harder to get, so you want to get stuff that's a lot harder to get. So that's like, maybe if you, depending on where you are in the season, you want to get that decor component. I tend to focus on getting gear blueprints and universal exclusive weapon shards, just because, like, those two are kind of in limited supply, especially the gear blueprints, and you need those to kind of continue to push up and grow. So I tend to get these. That's my main focus for right now. And, you know, when things are light and fluffy and easy, I might grab a couple extra decor components as well, because I got some low-hanging upgrades to grab. So next, moving into the campaign store. This one is just an easy takes all day long. So the way you generate currency for this one is by doing the honorable campaign. From that, you'll get these little medals or whatever, or the badges, I forget what they're called. But basically, everything in this store is an easy take. But let's talk about what to prioritize first. So for me, my biggest thing is to prioritize getting these legendary campaign chests off the rip. Why? Because, as I mentioned in another video, one of the rewards is 100 hero shards. Now, you only have a 0.3 chance of getting it, but if you followed my page, I've posted multiple times where I'll get them. Like, I'm always super excited, so I take a screenshot like every time. But like, I've gotten 100 hero shards multiple times over. I've probably gotten at least 800 shards, maybe 900 shards, just from opening these boxes. After a certain point in the hero campaign, you get these boxes as a reward for completing the levels, but you can also buy more from the store, and you definitely should. Like I said before, why do we not want to buy hero shards from the honor store? Because we can get them from the campaign store, and we get this currency like every 2 days, so this is a much better spend for that. Also, you can get some universal decor components, so we're going to grab those as well. Like, everything in here, I'm just going to buy pretty much everything. I want that. We want the drone components. We want the legendary hero shards. Decor, yes please. Chip material, yep. Skill chest, easy choice. This is one of your easiest ways to get universal exclusive weapon shards, so always grab them whenever you can. Common skill chest, definitely. Upgrade ore, we'll grab that as well. Not very expensive. Drone parts, again, better bought in the campaign store than the honor store or the alliance store. Like, this is currency you get every 2 days, so grab it. Recruitment tickets, do I want to pay gems for it? I sure don't. Use the campaign store. Dielectric ceramic, I can get 200 of it for 60. Definitely grab. And then usually I end my campaign store looking kind of like this, where I'm down to epic resource chests, I'm down to speed ups, and I'm down to battle data. Now, battle data is the most expensive, but if you do need it to boost up your drone, like, this is an easy way to get it. I tend, because I'm doing that T10 grind right now, it's more important for me that I have the resources to do it than that I have the speed ups to do it. I don't mind spending a couple days letting the research go. I do have a tremendous amount of speed ups. I should probably be using more of them, but what I don't have is a tremendous amount of resources, because for myself, I misplayed early on. I'm going to buy as many as I can. I misplayed early on, so like, I'm in a little bit of a resource deficit, because I invested in my last special forces tree a little too early. So I got to keep buying those epic resources. Now, you might be different. Maybe you have tons of resources, you didn't misplay the way I did, but you might need speed ups. So, you know, once you get down to this level, like, you use your needs to guide how you spend those last couple, because these are your very expensive ones. And at least for myself, I think I have 2 of my honorable campaign teams are in the I want to say either early to mid level 30s, and one's in the 40s. So I can buy this whole tree essentially all the way down to these last 3 resources every week without too much issue. So this should be like your most frequented store, more or less, because this stuff replenishes every week, so you should be here. Alrighty, and then that brings us down to the last place, the season store. So we have the Dominance Sanctuary, the Doomsday Castle, which I don't have the points for, Throne of Blood, which is a pretty valuable statue. It gives some very nice buffs. There's 5 levels of it. God of Judgment, also a very nice statue. 5 levels of it, very nice buffs. Mythic Blueprints. We talked about those a little bit ago in another video. Skill points. A banner character thing, professional change tickets, and the skill book. For me, the most important things in this store are the statues and the blueprints. The Doomsday Castle is cool, and maybe one day I'll get that. But currently, for myself, I've just finished season 1, maybe a week and some change ago, and I don't yet see a lot of ways to get these seasonal tokens or seasonal points or whatever. So this season store currency. So as a result, I focused on grabbing the God of Judgment statue. I think I have that to level 2, and the Throne of Blood statue. And the Mythic Blueprints is valuable, but I have another video explaining some other ways that you can get Mythic Blueprints that are a little, I think I describe it as a cheapskate strategy. So it's not totally free to play. You can still do the cheapskate strategy. It'll just take longer. If you're willing to pay like $1 a day during the ammo bonanza event, that'll get you to it a little bit faster. But watch the video. There's more details there. But as far as what I would focus on, I'm focusing on all statues. I'm at level 40. I'm not super concerned about getting more skill points, as I still have a lot to allocate. I assume I'm going to get some new skills in season 2, so I'm hanging on to a bunch of those. I have what's it called? Profession change tickets. I have skill reset books. I don't need either of those, and I'm not super interested in like the minor buffs that the banner gives you. But I really do like the Dominant Sanctuary, because that gives you some extra attack, as does the Doomsday Castle, and then the statues are statues. They do what they do. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all of the stores that you have available in that group. And then so when I look at like the events and so forth, or actually not the events, but when I look at, I think it's the hot deals, usually I tend to grab at least like the first bracket here. This far left one is free. This middle one here is $5, and usually the far right one is $20. So I'll usually grab the one that's $5, just because you do get like some nice extra bonus stuff along with it. Now the best rewards are of course going to be on the far right, but for me, I'm not super keen on always grabbing these extra little metal things and so forth. I tend to save the $20 payment for some other stuff. The total mobilization one, just I'll talk about other events that are going on now. I never really invest in this. It's kind of expensive, and I don't really see like the huge payout. Now there are some like a lot of resource options available here, but for me, this event just doesn't really speak to me that greatly, and I'm not really fond of these exchange rates. The custom daily pass, this one I'll grab like the $5 one sometimes. Just because you do get, the dielectric ceramic. This is a really cheap, I'll call it cheapskate strategy for getting a lot of dielectric ceramic, or some bonus dielectric ceramic, as well as some bonus drone parts. Because as your drone gets stronger and stronger, you just do need a lot more of those. So you can, take that $5 cost, and it does last all week, and you get those rewards every day. So those are pretty nice. And then there's the daily special pack option. I usually don't go any further than maybe buying like a $5 thing here or there. I wanted to see kind of what this legendary hero shard box choice one thing was. Basically, you get to pick whether you want exclusive weapon shards or hero shards. So my curiosity got the better of me. I just wanted to see what it was. And then this one I got just because I wanted to see what this win in 2025 like upgrade thing was. And then I grabbed that just to kind of take a peek at it. But yeah, that's oh, and then I guess at the top there's the daily sale stuff. A lot of this stuff I tend to ignore, but it's worth popping in here because you do get a daily freebie chest for 2 of the pages here. I think it's the weekly pass and your daily sale. You can get some free extra gems, which if you're free to play, those do add up. So feel free to grab them. But I think that's probably going to bring this to a close. A lot of this stuff that's in here, I don't really look at because it's like a lot of one-time purchases type stuff. And maybe, you know, if I get too frustrated with my grind to T10s, maybe I'll buy something in there. But I'm not super concerned about it. Mostly, I tend to spend a lot of time looking at the stuff that refreshes every week, that you use the in-game currency for, that replenishes. You know, I don't mind taking my time, but I also don't mind throwing the game developers a couple of bucks here and there because the game is free to play and I do enjoy playing it, so I don't mind throwing in a couple bucks here and there. Alrighty, so yeah, that'll bring this video to a close. That's basically all of your regular store stuff, as well as my opinions on, you know, what you should buy and where and when, which shops are worth it, which ones you probably want to skip, or only buy when you're, you know, once you exhaust all your other options and you really want to get something done today. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. You know, have a good one. If this video helped you out, feel free to drop a like, drop a comment. Feel free to subscribe. We'll have a bunch more videos coming out in the future. Alrighty, take care and have a good one.